about the watch and the stories behind it.
Well, let's look at a couple of watches in this segment. I wanted to bring this watch specifically. This is I've had periods where I liked Seikos, and then I sold them off, and I didn't want Seikos for a while anymore. And then I recently got back into. I really like these Seikos, like this one, the SPBs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This one is the SPB 381. These 62 Moss revisions with the 6R movements in them. And this one, I believe, is the GMT.
Yeah, this is GMT.
I've picked up a bunch of these SPB watches recently. This one I actually bought.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Seiko has really upped their game recently when they went through their. I think when they got rid of none. When they got rid of the SKX line, and they they started raising their prices a little bit, and they started refining their designs. I think they found another gear, as it were, and I think it's reflected very nicely in this watch. Now, unfortunately, it does have that dreaded and horrific pin and collar. But Tyler over at Exquisite Timepieces, where I bought the watch, he sized it for me, so I didn't have to go through the agony.
That's a nice curve too. With the other
they've really upped their game, and because they upped their game, I decided that I really wanted to obtain more of these SPB type models.
Oh, that's the micro adjust.
Yeah. And this is the one I wanted to bring with me because I really liked it. I don't own a lot of green watches. I don't know what. Yeah, it does match my shirt. I'll probably be wearing this watch. But I really like this this style. So I picked up quite a few Seikos recently, and pretty much all of them came from Exquisite. I mean, they are a Seiko dealer. Tyler is very easy to work with. And no, I'm not getting money or compensation for mentioning any of this.
Well, you should.
I probably should. But he gives good. They give good deals. Well, I mean,
better deals now.
Yeah, and also I got this watch roll from them too. So
amazing.
Now, also in this watch roll is now whenever I hear the term one watch collection.
I don't believe that, by the way.
I don't believe in a one watch collection because it's like Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one. Shout out to my mom, who's a fiend for Lay's potato chips. But one watch collection to me is stupid. I mean, I'm sorry to any of you guys that love this idea and pound on it constantly, but I think it's the stupidest talking point in the world. But having said that, if somebody held a gun to my head and say, or should I say that? I should say,
you can do that. It's fine.
Sure. I don't want to get you demonetized.
Well,
edit the word.
I don't know that.
Anyway, if there was going to be such a thing in my life, Tudor Pelagos. First generation Pelagos.
This is the first one, right?
Yeah.
This is 42?
42. That is in the matte blue, which I think is the better of the two colorways. Full titanium.
That click is
beautifully refined, beautiful watch. It's thin enough that it can fit under a long sleeve. It's elegant looking, and in the black, it's even more elegant looking. Although I try and stay away from the black watches. You know, I have too many. But unless you're in a complete dress watch environment, this watch works in almost every setting. And it's one of my favorite watches. That's actually one of my dad's old watches.
Oh, nice. And I like I always like with the Pelagos how they use the floating hands because of it really those snowflakes and floating hands makes it a lot clearer and more space than it it has
It's
business to
it's
it,
easy to read at a glance.
and I love that. I love that kind of sort of mystery. Oh, how is this connected to the stem and all
Yeah.
that? But of course, I know that. But that visual impact, you cannot get away from it.
No. The only downside to this watch, and it's minor once you get used to it, is this silliness right here. I mean, this
I was gonna
this
say that. I was gonna point
spring
that out.
loaded. Oh, you got it all. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
well, you get it micro adjusted out to this point, and then everything past this point is spring loaded, and it's like, really. I mean, I would just rather have the ratcheting micro adjust all the way through the length of the
Yeah.
clasp. I mean, I know why they did it, but I think there's an old expression, being cute for the sake of being cute.
Yeah.
That to me is a solution looking for a problem.
Yeah. Well, a
And
lot of watches are like that. So,
yeah,
but yeah, that is true. This is one of my complaints about it. It's not really just the ratcheting or the
I mean,
spring
it
loaded action.
ratchets up to a point, and then it spring loads from that.
Yeah, but I felt that they didn't have to do this. I mean, like if this was cleaner, I would have passed it off. I think that's
Yeah,
that's my
I mean,
threshold for
it,
that.
it is a way to solve the problem, but um, I think they could have done it a little bit
Oh,
cleaner
definitely,
and a little bit
definitely.
simpler.
That's why also the FXD. If we look at my the later design that we
Yeah,
have, it's kind of like the FXD.
but on my wrist, it oops, just
Yeah, there you
fits
go. Fits perfect.
beautiful,
Yeah,
and it's short enough. I mean, the lug to lug is short enough that I mean you could wear it.
yeah.
I mean, the overhead shot might look a little weird, but and the clasp, the locking mechanism is perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah,
See
it's
how
still yeah.
that would work.
Yeah, it still works. Yeah. I mean, I've worn 42s. I've worn 44s. I mean, I wear G-Shock, so that's
Yeah.
my that's my
Well,
thing.
G-Shocks don't count.
Exactly. Random Rob.
Yes.
Random
Random
Rob.
Rob.
Random,
Random Rob
Random
has
Rob
been.
popularized that. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. G-Shock's done
Random
popularized
Rob has been a big influence on me,
that. Yeah. Actually,
especially.
that's one of the questions that I wanted to ask. I
Yeah.
mean, how did you get into the Random Rob stream?
I just I discovered his channel when it was a lot smaller, not as small as yours and mine are, but I mean it was well under. Well, no, you're over 20,000 now. His channel was under 20,000 when I discovered it, and I love the quick hit unboxings, and then
Yeah.
uh,
That's
and
he's known for that.
and then the longer form, and then he would do. And at the time, he was doing Seiko mods and stuff like that. So I learned a lot.
It's the Seiko mods that brought me in
Yeah,
because
and that brought me in too because I was buying a lot of Seikos at the time. And
he used to kill turtles, guys.
yeah, I,
You
I
know
was I was one of the people that really complained because I live in Florida, and we're big on the sea turtles down here, and I hated to see turtles being sacrificed. And I said, you can't come down here to Florida, Rob,
Oh
because
man.
the environmental folks will come
But
and
things
get you.
have changed. I think like that's been what 2 years since
Two,
he
3 years. I mean, he
since
doesn't
that.
kill turtles anymore at all. But yeah, I mean, and then I became a contributor on the live streams, and then I became his number one troll killer.
There you go. And that's when I came in. At some point, I came in and I started to interact because I didn't know about YouTube live streams until Random Rob's
You should do
notification
one or
popped
two.
in. Maybe I actually did four, but then my equipment back in the time wasn't up to par, and I wanted to do so much more than what I think I should be doing. So maybe in the future I could do that. But that's when I came into Random Rob because I've been always looking at ways to configure my watch, especially because Seiko's the most moddable watch out there, and Random Rob kept on popping in. And then at one point, I subscribed, and then a notification he went live. What's this live thing? Then I started watching. At some point, I started chiming in, and he would call my name. Oh, I was like so happy. I was like, oh, he called design. He couldn't pronounce Atelier, but anyway, he was.
It took me a while to pronounce Atelier right. It did. It took about a month.
Yeah. Well, and that's when that interaction started. That's
Yeah.
where our relationship started. Just to recollect the story again. I've done that numerous times in the channel. That I asked a question in Random Rob's stream. That's why Random Rob is a key ingredient in this interview,
Yeah.
in this relationship also. I asked in that stream, is it possible to launch a channel or have a channel reviewing watches without actually touching the watches? And lo and behold, Dane's the one who answered, and he said, "Yeah, well, it's much better to review watches when you have the watches in your hand.
Well, you're taken more seriously.
Yeah, yeah, you're taken more seriously if you're able to do that."
I mean, all the channels that I take seriously, when they do watch reviews, they have the metal in the hand. Um, I mean, you can get away with pictures only so far.
And I agree with that. And let's not confuse that my reaction to that as not agreeing to that. I actually agree to that. And now having a channel for 3.5 years, I fully support and I fully prefer to have the watch on my hand
Yeah.
to review. And so Dane was right, but that was the catalyst on why I made the channel, because I wanted to prove to Dane that I could do it without having the watch on my hand. And I started to make some videos without the watches until Zelos Elshan gave me a chance and sent me a watch to Aruba. And that's where it all started. When I got Zelos on the channel, it was instrumental for other micro brands to jump in and take a chance at Design Atelier. And again, that is why we're interviewing Dane, because he's the very catalyst for my own channel. Where it is now, it's because of Dane's not just challenge but the support for Random Rob's uh, live stream and watch collecting in general. I hold Dane as a key part of my watch collecting or watch enthusiasm, if we call it that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because you really are a big part, and that's why I promised to Dane that one day we're going to meet. We're going to have this sit down, and that day has finally come. And we have a few cameras. Hopefully, the cameras are still rolling.
Oh, I think they're still wrong.
And that's the whole point why we wanted to have this kind of conversation, and it's extra special for me at a personal level. Finally meeting the person that's instrumental also in me diving into this. I mean, imagine 3 or 4. I couldn't imagine 3.5 years ago that I'd be changing careers from retail into luxury jewelry and watches because of this channel and because of Dane's one comment. And I still have that one comment somewhere in my. I think I copied or I saved the live stream. I saved the live stream, but I can't remember which point it was. But hopefully I could find the clip and show it somewhere where he actually commented there. Yeah, it's better to have it. And
I didn't know any of that, really. I didn't know.
and
Who knew?
and he was indeed, when I launched the channel, he was there and he was commenting in every single video ever since. And you could look at the videos that I've made, you could see always Dane is there to give it. And that's why when I had the show, he has um his specific segment there.
And now we hear from Mr. Zelos.
Yeah, now you're here with Mr. Zelos.
And the picture isn't bad either.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's a little
well, he
heavier.
requested that picture be the same. So I mean, like,
Well,
now.
it's a decent picture. And I don't take a decent picture. Anyway, I wanted to show you the last watch in this segment because
Well, there's one more here. I mean, like,
yeah, but that's going in this segment.
okay, that's true.
As we all know, Zelos is my favorite microbrand by a long way. I do have a favorite mainstream brand, and it's not Rolex. Although it's
everybody
not,
knows Rolex.
Yeah, it's not Tudor. It could almost be Omega. but it's not. It's Breitling.
Oh wow, yeah, there's a bright.
And this is now I have a good number of Breitlings. If you can see them all on my channel, Celine Driver, like, share, subscribe.
Navitimer.
Navitimer, but not any Navitimer. This one is a very unique Navitimer. This one is the Navitimer 146152.
I'm bad at serial numbers. I
No, that's not a serial number. That's the model.
That's the model number. Sorry.
1461 refers to the number of days there are in 4 years.
Oh, okay.
If you add up 365, 365, 365, 366, it adds up to 1461, if my math is right. Yeah, it should be. The 52 refers to this subdial at the 3 o'clock, which is a 52-week counter.
Oh wow, okay.
This watch,
I've never seen that.
No, it's unique to the Navitimer. This watch is it's a stopwatch, obviously. It shows week of the year, month, day, date. It only needs to be adjusted once every 4 years if it's running properly. By the way, this watch hates winders and has to be wound manually every.
I mean, like winding manually is not that bad.
No, it's not that
but
bad.
This is fully wound. Oh no, it's not. Okay. I actually like winding watches because I mean that's part of the appeal. You know, when my wife keeps complaining, okay, but why do you wind it? It's part of the appeal. Like
Yeah,
when you take,
it's part of the ritual.
That's, you know, I mean, somebody sent me a watch winder now, and that's also going to be in the channel in review. But it's part of your interaction with the watch that you wind it, and different watches have different winding.
Yeah, like I wind every day. Every day I wind 5 watches, and every other day I add.
Oh, there you go.
I had two more which are manual winds. I let them run to near the end of their power. All the other watches except this one, I wind 50 times. This one wants 70.
Oh, really?
It doesn't like.
But
50.
That's 70. That's for the full wind.
Full day.
Full day. Okay.
It doesn't like 50. It doesn't like 60.
It wants 70.
It wants 70. Okay. Or it stops.
Well, that's fine. I mean, like that'll take you like just a few seconds.
Yeah.
Just a few.
Now Navitimers are among my favorite watches overall. I love chronographs. I love the look. I love the feel. You can see it's all adjusted with pushers for the most part. There's 2 on the side, the 2 there, and there's 2 there.
Wow, that's like a lot.
And it has a slide rule, which I don't know how to use.
Oh, actually, that's one of the fun stuff that when I discovered that that's actually a calculating device. I was like, wow, but this one's fixed, or is it?
No, it turns. It's a little stiff.
It's a little stiff. Okay. I'm just afraid.
The watch was recently rebuilt. Oh, wow. When I got it, it actually, one of the chronograph hands was stuck.
There's only 1,000 of these.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's unique. I mean, there's not a lot of 4-dial Navitimers.
That's true.
And that 52-week complication at 3 o'clock is what makes it particularly unique.
Yeah, I don't see that often. I think I remember now that there were week counters, but the thing is, like, do you use it here in the United States? I mean, in Aruba we do, because we have the Dutch system, and the Dutch system love using week numbers.
No, we don't do that. But it's a nice complication to have. Unfortunately, unless I have a loop, it's kind of hard to see.
Well, it's not. I mean, like you could readily see it. I guess that's the value of pointers.
Yeah, but the watch is an annual watch. It only has to be adjusted
every leap year.
Every leap year. So, I mean, it will perpetual on from February 28th to March 1st. But on February 28th, of, I guess the next one will be 2028, I'll have to manually adjust it to the 29th. So
This is
that's where the
41.
1461
This is
comes
a
in.
41 also. 41, 40,
42.
42. It's still a 42? It
I
looks
think
40.
it's a 42. I don't know. Hold
Very
it up
big.
to the Pelagos.
Yeah, it's well, the Pelagos is definitely bigger.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
I have quite a number of Breitlings. I have chronomats. Um, I have some of the industrial looking, military looking things. Um, I have a couple of premiers. I love
The premiers are nice.
I love the
I've seen them
pistachio.
first.
I have the pistachio and I have the salmon. Why they made the pistachio in manual wine and the salmon in an automatic?
There's a difference.
Well, the pistachio doesn't have a moon phase.
Well, it still doesn't
I
matter.
have an Omega at home. It's a Seamaster, Speedmaster, sorry, with a moon phase, Aventurine dial, manual wind.
Well,
Who the hell makes a moon phase with a manual wind?
that doesn't make sense. I mean, like,
That makes no sense to me.
because
And the crown and the crown guard and the crown and the pushers are so close together. I've actually raised a blister because of that watch.
but
I know,
yeah,
first world problems, right?
it should be like, yeah, that's a design flaw there.
No, well, not design flaw; it's design stupidity.
It's
But
putting it lightly. I like to put stuff lightly, I guess.
yeah, but well, not me, no. But that watch is beautiful, and I don't want to get rid of it. But my God, every other day I have to wind that thing back to full power, and literally it's the last watch I wind because it hurts. But who puts a moon phase on a
Yeah, I
manual?
mean, because now you're gonna have to look at the moon phase somewhere else when you pick up the watch.
Well, once you set it, as long as it keeps going, it's fine. But when I get home,
Well, so long as you keep wearing it every
Yeah.
day and keep winding it, yeah.
well, when I get home tomorrow, there's like 2 or 3 watches that I'm gonna have to
Have to
advance
wind.
for a couple of days to get it. Yeah. Oh, the other one that does that too is I have a JLC Reverso
Of course,
moon phase manual wind.
manual wind. Well, at least with the reversal, I could give them a pass because hey, it's a reversal.
Yeah,
There's
but
not
they
much
make
space.
reversals with
Automatics
automatics.
too, yeah, correct. But
I,
that would be
I didn't
really
think I'd
chunky.
ever I didn't think I'd ever love a reversal, but I really like that watch. I got
I
that from
I
European.
have changed my mind on the reversals. I used to love them, but now that I work with a retailer that's actually an authorized dealer of JLC, and I've seen most of them are really big on my wrist.
Yeah.
They just shoot on my. It's yeah, I can't bear that. I mean, I love them, but I don't have the wrist for them, unfortunately.
Well, recently I found a lot. I think everyone on my channel knows, or everyone that's seen me on a live stream knows, I have this loathing for Panerai with that wart on the side. By the way, you did. I
Yeah,
will never forgive you for
I
doing
know.
what he did. He did a Zelos watch with a Panerai thing on the side of it,
Just to spite him.
just to screw with me, and I'm still salty
Oh,
about it.
I think he's still upset about it. Yeah.
But I found a Panerai that I
That you
like,
like.
and I bought it.
It's a Rajumir. Probably.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Rajum. I think
I pronounce it radial mirror.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
It looked like radial mirror. I found one.
Because it doesn't have a wart.
It doesn't have a
Of
wart.
course, that's why.
And there's also a GMT version of it, which I'm
Well,
eyeballing.
it used to be an Oyster Rolex case. So,
Yeah.
an
Well,
oyster? Is it an oyster? I think it is still. It's called an oyster, but that's where it came from.
well, as long as that Panerai doesn't have a wart, I can do the Panerai.